All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to talk about a really powerful mindset shift, especially for parents and caregivers of kids with ADHD. We're going to learn how to decode the hidden language behind their behavior and hopefully figure out how to turn those daily challenges into real moments of connection.
You know this quote? It just really hits home. The sudden outbursts, the impulsive choices, what feel like constant power struggles, it can be absolutely overwhelming. It's so easy to feel completely lost in that storm, you know? Trying everything you can think of, only to feel like nothing is working.
And this is the question that can change everything. What if the actions that look like pure rebellion are actually something else entirely? We're going to explore this idea that maybe, just maybe, this isn't about a deliberate choice to misbehave, but a really crucial form of communication.
So why do those traditional responses like correction or trying to reason with them or even punishments, why do they so often just fall flat? Well, it's usually because they're aimed at the behavior on the surface and they completely miss the root cause of what's actually driving it in the first place.
And here's the real heart of the problem. We get stuck in this reactive cycle. We see an action, we react, and the conflict just spirals. But what if we could learn to pause and listen for the message that's hidden underneath that action, the signal that's trying to tell us about an internal struggle?
And this brings us to the core idea, the real aha moment. It's a complete reframing of the whole challenge, seeing a child's behavior not as a problem we need to fix, but as a language we need to understand.
Just look at the contrast here. The old viewpoint that all this behavior is just defiance, that kind of locks you into this endless cycle of conflict. But the new viewpoint, that behavior is actually communication, well, that opens the door to empathy, to connection, and to solutions that can really make a difference. So why is this shift so important? It really comes down to the neuroscience of it all. The ADHD brain just works differently. It's executive functioning. You can think of it like the brain's air traffic control tower is managing a huge amount of traffic all at once. It's under a high cognitive load, which makes things we take for granted, like emotional control and focus, incredibly difficult. And this is how those challenges often show up on the outside. Impulsivity isn't a choice, it's a real struggle with the brain's braking system. That emotional dysregulation, it's not a tantrum just for the sake of it, it's a genuinely intense, overwhelming reaction. And sensory overload can literally trigger a complete shutdown. These aren't character flaws, they are just neurological realities.
This question, right here, this is your new starting point. It's a practical tool that can instantly shift you from a place of judgment to a place of genuine curiosity and observation. It's all about looking for the hidden story behind the behavior you can see.
Okay, so how do we actually put this into practice? Now that we kind of get the why, let's dig into the how. It's time to become a bit of a behavioral detective and start decoding the clues your child is sending you. Think of this as your own personal translation guide. A flat-out refusal to do homework might not be laziness, it could totally be a sign of cognitive overload. A huge emotional outburst, that might be the only way they can signal an unmet need. By just reinterpreting these behaviors, you can start to see the real problem that actually needs solving. Okay, so you've decoded the clue. You think you know what's going on underneath. Now for the most important part. What do you actually do next? This section gives you an actionable toolkit, a simple 4-step plan you can use in the heat of the moment to build connection instead of more conflict. First, and this is the hardest part, just pause. Don't react right away. Observe what's happening. Second, ask yourself that key question, what is the need here? Third, validate what you see. Just saying something like, it looks like you're really frustrated right now, can de-escalate a situation almost instantly. And finally, respond with a tool, like offering a break or a hug, not a punishment. Here's what that actually looks like in real life. Let's say your child is fidgeting, avoiding eye contact with their homework. Instead of jumping to threats, the parent pauses, they observe, and then they validate. I see this feels really frustrating. Then comes that strategic response, offering a 5-minute break. And what's the result? The conflict is totally avoided and the child feels supported. So, what's the long-term result of making this shift? It's a true transformation. You move away from a home that feels like it's defined by conflict, and you move toward one that's filled with connection, understanding, and confidence for both you and your child. And this, right here, this is the payoff. Fewer power struggles, a stronger emotional bond, more confidence in your own parenting, and most importantly, a child who knows, deep down, that
that they are seen, that they are understood, and that they are supported, no matter what. That's huge. So I'll just leave you with this. The next time a challenging behavior pops up, just try to take a breath and ask yourself this one simple question. Because when you start really listening to the message behind the behavior, you don't just change the conversation, you change everything.